Are you looking for work? Older worker, as they say, 55 plus, maybe 50 plus, 55, 60, 65, and up, and you are looking to re enter the job market and looking to get back to work. Maybe you want to subsidize your Social Security. Maybe you want to subsidize your retirement. Maybe you want to subsidize both. Maybe you just want to get out the house. Maybe you're thinking, look, I got a lot more to offer here. I should be at somewhere working. I shouldn't be just sitting at home watching. Is Jerry Springer still come on? Whatever is coming on, or on TikTok and Instagram looking at he said, she said. No, I can, I got a lot more to offer. I know that's where my head is at. I have a lot to offer. I have a lot of work experience, a lot of skills, and I know you do too. I know I am not alone. We are kindred spirits. So you are at the right place. I have been a career counselor for over 25 years. I am still out there. As a matter of fact, I have an interview, my final interview, coming this Thursday for a job that has pretty good, opportunities. It's a part-time job. I'm not looking to work full-time, but if you're looking to re-enter and work full-time, I was talking to a woman the other day in the store. Matter of fact, it was Amazon Fresh, and I see her there all the time. I can see she's a mature woman, and we were chatting, and she said, "Yeah, I'm retired. I was in the insurance business." I said, "Well, you work in here full time or part time?" She said, "No, I work full time." Well, more power to her because I don't want to work full time. That's what, 9 hours a day, 10 hours a day. I just want to work part time at a meaningful job, making a decent salary to supplement my income. Plus, I'm a people person, and I love being able to interact with people, help people, with their various issues, and just make their day, brighten their day with wonderful customer service because I'm really big on customer service. But anyway, moving right along here, you are at the right place because I have wonderful information to share with you to help you be successful in your job search as you re enter. So today's topic is, where do you look for work? Well, if you haven't looked for work in a while, and maybe you just started looking, but I'm sure you're discovering that door knocking, shoe leather, walking, knocking on doors, introducing yourself like you used to. May I speak to someone in human resources? Or can I talk to somebody about whether you're hiring? Dropping in on employers, that day is done. Done. Is that how you spell done? Anyway, how are most jobs found, or how are most jobs posted or advertised these days? Hmm? Do you know? Yep, if you haven't been looking, and maybe you have been looking, you know that most jobs, 99.78% of them, are online, meaning you have to go on your computer and look for work. It's no more, going, knocking on the doors and putting your Sunday go to meeting clothes on, as we used to say, and, getting all dressed up and going out looking for work. Now you are looking for work on the computer. So that brings me to this point. I hope you are comfortable with utilizing your computer or using a computer. I hope you are computer literate. If you are not computer literate because you've been working for the last number of years at whatever job and you haven't had much experience actually or had to use your computer, a computer, well, you can go to adult school and learn, get comfortable on how to use a computer so you're comfortable. I have a sister who was asking me, she knows I'm always, I'm always looking for opportunities, and they call me a hustler because I always have different employment or paid type of work experience going. And she said, I think I want to work a little bit too. She's retired, and could you tell me how you find jobs and tell me a little bit about the type of work, da 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 da. Okay, long story made short, I spent quite a bit of time. I was talking to her on the phone, quite a bit of time sharing with her how I look for work. Okay, it's online, da da da, what I need to do, da da da, the different websites that I go to. I must have spent an hour. Then I even text her once we finish some of the information to follow up. She contacted me maybe about 2 months later and said, all that information you gave me? I said, yeah. She said, well, I can't remember what I did with it, and I don't remember everything you said. I put a lot of information into helping her, telling her how to look for work. Da, da, da. But what that told me is she is really feeling like the way you have to look for work now in terms of on the computer. And I told her, I said, you have to really be computer savvy now with the employer's apps and all of that. You have to be comfortable with it. I said that's just the way it is now, and so I'm thinking that's what caused her to be hesitant. So she hasn't brought it up since. I was a little frustrated because I had shared all that information with her, and I know when she told me, "Oh, I couldn't find it. I don't know what you did with it. Could you tell me again?" I'm thinking, all that information I gave you, you can't find it. But that told me that she has a phobia about being on the computer. Well, if you have a phobia and you really want to go to work, go to register with adult school. They have plenty of classes for seniors, and there's instructors that can guide you, and you get really comfortable on the computer because that's just the way it is. So looking for work. Let's get back to that, talking about some of the websites that you will look for work on. One is Indeed, Nindeed. That seems to be the number one website for looking for work. Indeed. Another website is LinkedIn. If you're not familiar with LinkedIn, LinkedIn is a professional website. Now this is where you actually put your picture. Your picture is a professional picture. It's not with you and your dog, your cat, your rabbit, your husband, your babies, your grandchildren. It's a professional photo of you. It's only going to be so big. It's like a little circle, but it should represent you in a way that's professional. So it shouldn't be you at the beach or you on a vacation. It should be a professional picture, however small it might be. It should be professional. And on LinkedIn, you put a profile on there if you're looking for work or the type of work you have done previously. Now, you want to make sure there are no typos. You want to make sure there are no grammatical errors. You want to make sure that whatever you put, on LinkedIn is professional, no mistakes, no typos. It represents you well. And you can actually have someone help you put that profile together. On LinkedIn, there are groups. There are groups of that come together for different industries, different fields of work. You can join those groups where you can interact with folks. Now, I hate to tell you this, but you're not going to be interacting with them in person. It's all on the computer. So computers are going nowhere in terms of the interaction and all of what's expected of you in this contemporary time. Back in the day, how we used to do things, the day is done. Okay? All right, another website is Career Builder, and that's where you can look for work as well. They usually, for the Indeed and for a Career Builder, they want you to register. Registering is not a big deal. It's just, you get a login like you do on most computer websites. Another one is Glassdoor, Glassdoor. That is a website that has current job openings. Another one is Zip Recruiter. Zip Recruiter, again, it's similar to Indeed where it has job listings. Now, when you go to the job listing and you type in at the top, search, you're going to search for the type of work you are interested in, determining whether or not there are positions available, any postings, any job openings on that particular site. Whether it's not LinkedIn, you don't look on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is more or less for your profile and it's not like a job search website like Indeed or like Glassdoor or ZipRecruiter. It's not like that. Uh, those actually have actual job postings. And the thing about, I want to go back to LinkedIn for a second. You can say, I am looking for work. But when you state that, you really need to have a really great profile. And on LinkedIn, you can also have testimonials. Testimonials are individuals who have worked with you and say, oh, Sally's the best thing since sliced bread. Or I work with Sally at XYZ company and she has the most da 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 da. Those are testimonials. You can ask people to provide you with a testimonial. And usually people that you've worked with before who will have great things to say about you, which will hopefully be influence someone who is, thinking about possibly considering you to fill a position. So that's on LinkedIn. Now, let's get back to the websites, Indeed, Glassdoor, ZipRecruiter. When you look on, you put in the type of position, let's say it's customer service. So in the search bar, you put in customer service. So jobs will start popping up. Now, before you start applying for any jobs, make sure that you qualify for those positions. If they say required and you don't have it, don't waste your time. If it says preferred or ideally or something like that, then that's different, or sometimes they'll say preferred but not essential or something. They'll let you know that you don't have to have it. But some of them, like I've seen some that required, they say required bilingual, required you must know Salesforce, required you must know Excel. Then if you don't know that, if you don't have those skills, don't waste your time, because you're not going to be considered by the employer. And you don't want, time is valuable. You don't want to waste your time anyway. The other thing I want to suggest too when you're looking for work is when you actually see a position that you're considering, they will have the name of the company, and you can click on that and go to that company's website and look around, get familiar with that company, and then make a determination based on what you see as to whether you want to pursue it or not. Now, it depends on how much information they're sharing. You can look at, a lot of times they'll have pictures of the staff, and you just get a real good insight. And then a lot of times, I know on Indeed, and I don't remember if it's the case with the other ones, where they will actually have ratings, reviews and ratings by former employers or current employees, rating that company. So if the rating, I've seen some ratings it's like 2, and it's like on a scale of 1 to 5, and 2 being almost number 1. And I'm thinking, why do all the ratings, come up to 2, and then some are like 4.4 or whatever, where people have positive things to say. So you definitely want to check out the reviews. If there are reviews, all companies don't have reviews, but some of them do have reviews by former or current employees. But don't just start applying for the job. You want to know before you apply. So you want to do your due diligence. You want to know something about that company. Make sure you, like I said, you have the qualifications that they are seeking. Not if they say required, you don't have it, don't waste your time. I suggest starting from the bottom when you're looking at a job posting, because toward the bottom is where they will actually list the actual qualifications for the job. At the top of the job posting is usually about, and we were founded by, we've been established since for the last whatever 2020 or whatever, and they're saying something about the company. But toward the bottom is where they will actually list the qualifications for the position and the what that particular individual who would be applying would have to bring to the table in order to even be considered. So make sure you do your due diligence before you start applying for jobs. But like I said, everything pretty much is online. Every once in a while, I'll go in a store and I'll see a table over to the side with a sign saying now hiring, and then I'm not sure if they actually you're talking to anyone. I think they're probably directing you to a website. That's what I'm thinking. Uh, Probably telling you go to this website and apply for the job or whatever else. But I don't think there's actually any individuals there taking applications. I haven't seen anyone there. So everything pretty much, almost 100%, is online. So get familiar, get comfortable with looking for work online. And that's just the beginning. Because if you're considered for a position, then your interview more than likely will not be, in some cases, it will be in person, but a lot of employers are doing what they call virtual interviews, where they will interview you on the computer. So it's like if you haven't heard of Zoom and Team and what is it, Indeed, all those have virtual virtual ways to interview. I can't think of the word. I'm lost for words right now. But those are virtual mechanisms, tools set up to interview prospective candidates without you actually coming in. So, and then you have to know how to operate those and make sure that you're not fumbling around when it comes. They say, because I have a virtual interview, another one coming up, as a matter of fact, this Thursday. And it's on a site called Team, Team. And they say in advance, make sure you're comfortable with Team, make sure your audio is good, make sure your camera's good. So when it's time for you to interview, I'm not fumbling around saying, wait a minute, oh, good. No. So always go on and do a trial run. And I suggest you do the same thing once you have the opportunity, because we know you're going to have opportunity to interview and you want to come correct. All right. So I think that's pretty much about it for now. I'm looking to share lots of information relative to just looking for work, re-entering the workforce. My name is Maria. I have been a career counselor for a lot of years. I'm still out here. I'm going to keep going, as I tell people, until the wheels fall off, because I have so much more to offer in terms of getting out there and, re-entering the workforce. All right. So if I can be successful, you can be successful. So I would love for you to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And if you have any questions or any confusion, or you just want to say, hey, you encourage me, I would love to hear from you. All right. So I'm going to sign off for now. And I hope that this has been helpful for you. And two, I hope to see you at the top, because that's where I hang out. All right. Maria signing off for now. And I wish you well. Bye-bye for now.